This is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. I'm reading from Romans chapter 7, starting in verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law, for I had not known lust, except for the law had said, Thou shalt not covet. But sin, taking occasion by commandment, wrought in me all manner of concupiscence, for without the law the sin was dead. For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died. And the commandment which was ordained to life I found to be unto death. For sin, taking occasion by the commandment, deceived me, and by it slew me. Therefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and the just and the good. And then that which is good made death unto me. God forbid. But sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good. What sin by the commandment might become exceedingly sinful. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. The wages of sin is death is a verse somewhere else in the Bible. I can't recall where it's located in the Bible off the top of my head, but it's a really commonly known verse, and it really goes well with this passage. I do want to take a moment this morning and show you a few things. Now, this is a Schofield Study Bible. It's King James Version. There's a list of my Sunday school class from my old church. The Holy Bible, containing Old and New Testament, authorized King James Version. And it was edited by Reverend C.I. Schofield, D.D. Now, does that mean he changed some of the words? No. But if you look, see if I can find it again. There are these letters next to some of the words in these verses. And if you look up the middle here, like, I want to go to the passage I just read. Okay. I am carnal, sold under sin. Next to carnal is the letter D. So you come here to the letter D, and it says fleshy next to for carnal. It's another more modern word for carnal. A lot of people go around saying that's carnal anymore. Or out of this body of death. In other words, they're talking about the spiritual body. And then it gives these other verses. Romans 8:11, 1 Corinthians 15, 51 and 52, 1 Thessalonians 4, 14 to 17. So that's all. Oh, that's E. Okay, J just had fleshy for carnal, but E had another group of words for the word that was next to, and biblical references you could look up. Now, you can swim in shallow water sometimes, or can you? I know that a lot of you listen to me out of convenience, and I appreciate it, and I still continue to do that. But once I'm done reading, you can pick up your Bibles and you can look and see if there are any references in it. Now, if there's a number like next to one of these, like it is with carnal, you can come down here and read more text that Dr. Schofield added. And you think, well, I don't have a Schofield Study Bible. Okay, here's a more of a regular King James Version of the Bible. And this is a large print version. And here, under Romans 7:14, it has fleshy. Okay, and next to carnal, there's an R there, which means reference. So you got fleshy for carnal, and then you've got verses next to it. So you can go read those verses if you want a more in-depth study of it, or having problems understanding the verse or the passage or the word even. Now this is a book by Michael D. O'Neill. He has a PhD in theology. I don't know whether he's called Dr. Reverend or Reverend Dr. O'Neill. But he has taken Romans, and there's a chapter in the book for each chapter of Romans. Let me see if I can find the title page here. And he takes each verse. Yeah, here we go. Romans 8. And then up here you can see, well, he gives a chapter introduction. But I was over here looking ahead in Romans chapter 8, and we're still in Romans chapter 7 in our readings. And he bolds all the Bible verses. Now sometimes it's hard. Like here he's got Romans 11. And under Romans 11, 8:11, he has Bible verses that are companion verses that might have come from these notes after the verse, or in the Schofield from the margin, or even the notes from the bottom. Or, since he has a doctor in theology, he might have put a verse in here that's not referenced in the notes of either one of these Bibles. Okay, let me see. We read, here it's Romans, oh, that's another reference. Hold on. Okay, this will be one for next week. 2 Corinthians 3:17. Now the Lord is that Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Now I know, I've read ahead, because I study ahead on these verses. I know that this is not referenced in this Bible or this Schofield. You want to swim in deep waters. You want to find the verses that go with the passage you're reading in the rest of the Bible. I know a lot about, I wouldn't say that. I am familiar with, I'll say that, because this is deep, takes a lot of study, and I am familiar with how the prophets of the Old Testament connect to the prophecy of Jesus Christ and the coming Messiah, when they were still looking for the Messiah, and how Jesus Christ fulfilled those prophecies, and how John the Baptist was the reincarnation of the prophet Elijah. There are many connections between the Old and New Testament, and by reading the notes, and especially if you're reading the New Testament and there's a note in the for the Old Testament, that's the first one I read. If there's a note to read another chapter and verse in that same book of the Bible, I usually read that last. I go to the furthest away reference first. And that's why I'm able to see prophecy connected to the Old Testament and New Testament and to the coming age, the end of ages. So that's kind of how I study the Bible. But you can read a wonderful book like this from Dr. O'Neill